Namaskar, good morning. Please come. We are looking at Indian classical dance and its spread across the world. And in that way, the spread of Indian classical dance in the Southeast Asian countries is very important because it is one of the oldest development Southeast Asian regions where we went as kings, we went to spread religion and so on and so forth. So, the cultural development of Southeast Asian region was once dominated by Indian influence. Hinduism and Buddhism were so readily acceptable to the Southeast Asia, and consequently the period from the 1st to the 13th century was a great age of temple building all over Southeast Asia. Also, architecture, sculpture and painting on the temple walls were the arts that flourished. Many of the images found on these temple walls were images of dance and dancers. Sanskrit took root and it's found even today as the roots of words in some of the Southeast Asian languages. And the story of the great Hindu epics Mahabharata and Ramayana were incorporated along with the local myths into the cultural space. The exchange with Southeast Asia is a two-way, one for the dancer and other for the scholar. Avanti Madhuri in her book on Rukmini Devi says that Rukmini Devi was the visionary architect of Indian culture, that Rukmini Devi looked at Bangkok and Bali for masks and costumes for her own dance dramas. Even Tagore and Uday Shankar were influenced by the dance of Southeast Asia in the early years of the 20th century. Malaysia is a home to one of the largest conglomeration of populations that are of Indian origin. Today, they form the third largest ethnic groups in Malaysia after the native Malay and the Chinese. Malaysia's multicultural and multi-ethnic heritage is best expressed through its diverse music and dance forms. As diverse populations settled in the plantations and towns of Malaysia, the dances and music from their homelands become a part and parcel of the Malaysian culture. Indian Malaysians have a vivacious cultural life. The classical and the contemporary coexist here. So, if Bharatanatyam and Odissi enjoy great popularity, as does Tamil hip hop with rappers like Chakra Sonic and Yogi B, Ramli Ibrahim and Marvin Koo are the two non-Indian Malaysians who are world-renowned performers of Indian classical dance. But the Indian classical dance scene in Malaysia is far from vibrant. The Temple of Fine Arts in Bricksfield, Kuala Lumpur is an academy that provides training in traditional Indian dance and music. This non-governmental organization appears to be rooted in Hinduism, as its founder is Swami Shantanand Saraswati, who founded it in May 1981. Very importantly, the organization supports Indian arts and has facilitated the growth of the cultural life of Indian community, which is in majority in the heritage-rich Bricksfield town. Its founder, the Swamiji, had a deep and abiding love for the Indian arts. Fortunately, he was able to bring together two highly talented and extraordinary dancing couples, Gopal and Radha Shetty and Shivdas and Vatsala. He worked with them to create a series of dance dramas to engage the young and hone their artistic talents. Soon, by word of mouth, His following spread and similar centers grew in Kuala Lumpur, Penang, Johor Bahru, and gradually also to Perth and Melbourne in Australia. As time passed, a core of some 100 families became his regular followers in each center over a period of 10 years, and these followers were affectionately referred as to the Shiva family. The Shiva family comprised many youngsters, and soon Swamiji felt the urge to begin a cultural center so that the children in the group would learn Indian dance and music and thereby preserve something of their rich cultural heritage. Thus was born Temple of Fine Arts in 1981. Over the years, the Temple of Fine Arts has offered training in Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathak and Odissi apart from contemporary and Bollywood dancing. With classes in Carnatic and Hindustani music and its own orchestras, the temple has not lacked for talent, and consequently its productions are eagerly awaited. In fact, the combined Temple of Fine Arts International Orchestra, a 120-member orchestra, pulls all the musical talents of teachers and students from all the Temple of Fine Arts centers in Malaysia, Singapore, Australia and even India. In terms of stage productions, the TFA's initial offerings included formal presentations of students of different levels and short dance ballets. In time, this led to full-length dance drama productions, drawing its inspiration from stories as contemporary as Richard Bach's Jonathan Livingston Seagull to epics as ancient as Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana. TFA has enthralled audiences through a unique synthesis of past and present, of traditional movements and high-tech production techniques. The result is a visual feast of innovative choreography, flavored by spectacular costumes, magnificent sets, evocative lights, and memorable music. Over the last 15 years, TFA has staged productions such as Swan Lake, Lady Whitesnake, The Legend of Mahsuri, Midsummer Night's Dream, Ramayana, Taj Mahal, Shakuntala, and most recently Butterfly Lovers in Singapore, Malaysia, India, and Australia. The remarkable thing is that the TFA does not charge admission fees for public performances. Instead, invitations are extended to the public in the belief that the art should be accessible to everyone. Its Dance India, Taste India is a popular event. Its talent pool has enlarged as former students have returned to teach, such as prominent dancer Umesh Shetty. In fact, TFA is so influential that veteran Bharatanatyam Guru Vatsala Shivadas was awarded Warisan Orang Hidup in 2008. One of Malaysia's most iconic dancers is Rimli Ibrahim. Dancer, critic and scholar Leela Venkatraman has described Rimli Ibrahim as the dynamic force in Malaysian theatre and possesses open-mindedness for both the old and the new. Rimli is trained in classical ballet, modern dance and Indian classical dance. Rimli is a qualified mechanical engineer, is a creator and a visionary in the arts. In Malaysia, Rimli is acclaimed as a pioneer dancer and choreographer of the international standing in the major fields of dance that he has mastered: Bharatanatyam, Odissi as well as contemporary dance. He has learnt Malay folk dances and ballet and has performed with the Sydney Dance Company in Australia, in New York, London and Europe. Part of the avant-garde work in Australia, where the body is perceived as beautiful, he has been instrumental in bringing that feeling in Malaysia, and indirectly to India, where he performs often and where he enjoys an iconic stature, having been selected for the Sangeet Natak Academy Award as well. Rimli studied Bharatanatyam under Adyar K. Lakshman and Odissi under late Guru Deva Prasad Das. In fact, it was successful association with Adyar Lakshman that later generation male Bharatanatyam dancers picked upon and made a beeline for. After all, he had trained Rimli and earlier Chandrabhanu. In fact, Rimli first encountered Adyar Lakshman in Australia when he had been invited to Australia by Chandrabhanu in 1979. Initially in India, Rimli used to perform Indian classical dance under the name of Ramachandra. In 1983, Rimli Ibrahim established the Sutra Dance Theatre, of which he is the artistic director. Sutra's premium international position, its history of independent support, and its success in Malaysia, a primarily Muslim country, are all achievements that need to be hailed. Rimli Ibrahim has always envisioned his creativity as a total experience, one that transcends national boundaries. He has created more than 40 original dance repertoires in the traditional and contemporary idioms. His inspirations are many. The intense Guru Shishya relationship that the Gajendra Kumar Panda had with Guru Deva Prasad Das inspired him to write adorations, which culminated in many performances. Deva Prasad, the youngest of the three gurus to revive Odissi, was a very intense person. He believed that in classical, the folk and tribal must also come out, or else, as Rimli described, the classical work will be like a white sugar, looks good but has no value. Rimli does not appreciate compartments. He claimed that we learn various art forms and perform them as per our choreography. It is the critic who attempt to compartmentalize and put our style of presentation into various slots. In some items, the music may be Odissi, like in Pallavi, but I have deconstructed it and given it a contemporary layering. Rimli has been in the foreground of creating a new defining contemporary ethics emanating from Asia. We can define contemporary aesthetics now from an Asian point of view and not from Euro-American stance. That is why he sees unity within the diversity of Sutra's artistic endeavors. Rimli has been great choreographer not just for the works created in the new Asian contemporary ethic, but for the beautiful traditional choreographies he has presented. He has stressed on fitness but not at the expense of great artistry. It is sincerity of work that speaks through his choreographies and not empty rituals. He has the distinction of having performed at the most prestigious of Indian government and artistic platforms, including the Khajuraho and Konark dance festivals. And next is another male dancer, Marvin Koo. Marvin began his training in Bharatanatyam in Malaysia under Vatsala Shivadas and Vasuki Shivanation at the Temple of Fine Arts, Kuala Lumpur. His interest in Indian dance took him to train in Odissi and also Bharatanatyam with Rimli Ibrahim. He honed his skills further in India under the sharp eye of Guru Adyar K. Lakshman. In Malaysia, he also trained in classical ballet with Lee Yu Pin, who continued his training at the Cunningham Studios in New York in what is known as the Cunningham technique, and furthered his ballet training with Michelle Barr, Marion St. Clair, Nancy Kilgore and Ayumi Hikasa in London. He has collaborated in dance with some of the major choreographers of today, including Akram Khan, Ryan McGregor, and Christopher Bannerman. He has danced as a guest artist with Shobana Jayasinghe Dance Company in London and the Ballet de Zaragoza of Spain, the Ballet Reisenberg of Germany, and Sankalapam, a UK based dance company set up by Kalakshetra alumna Stella Uppal that celebrates tradition and change. Who has been their guest choreographer, who has also been commissioned by South Asian Dance Centre, the Academy in London, National Youth Dance Company, and the Jazz Company South Bank Centre in the UK to create work. Images in Varnam 2001 was commissioned by the Royal Ballet Artist Development Initiative and was followed by another ROH2 commission. Let Me Be with Royal Ballet dancer Kristen McNally. He has also made many other commissioned works, and which include creations for Venice Biennial and Canada Dance Festival, to name a few. Who stands today as one of the leading international male solo performers of Bharatanatyam, dancing not just in India but throughout the world. Apart from being recognized as an internationally recognized dance artist, he is a teacher, a choreographer, and artist scholar. He also creates new works that challenges notions of gender and ambiguity. He has been a British Council scholar, having studied his postgraduate studies in choreography at the Middlesex University, London, from where he holds a master's degree in choreography. He is one of few leading performers today that has developed academia alongside practice in performance. In his own company, Marvin Koo Dance was founded in 2003. Productions include Parallel Passions 2003, Chandra Luna, that is 2004-5, Devi the Female Principal 2006, Strictly Bharatanatyam 2006, Devi in Absolution 2008, Dancing My Shiva 2010, Swan Lake 2011, Akash 2012, and I Am With You Muruga 2013. He was the faculty member of the Dance Studies Department, School of Performing Arts at the University of Malta, and now the artistic director of Zefin Malta Dance Ensemble, the national contemporary dance company in Malta. Ajit Bhaskar Das was born in Malaysia and cultured under an impressive lineage of dance gurus in Malaysia and India. Ajit Bhaskar and Das spurned a career in law to rank amongst the foremost classical dancers of the country. Ajit is a versatile performer, choreographer, and the artistic director of his own dance company, Suvarna Fine Arts, based in Johor Bahru, Malaysia. Ajit's innovative creativity and exquisite interpretation of both Bharatanatyam and Odissi brings a refreshing new breath without sacrificing the essential classical purity of both. He has performed extensively all over Southeast Asia, India, USA, Canada, and Europe, giving dance performances, lecture demonstrations, and workshops. Not merely a dancer, he is also a much sought after choreographer and Natuvanar. He is invited numerous times as the guest choreographer by leading dance schools in Singapore, the Apsaras and Maya Dance Theatre, as well as in the USA, especially at the Shakti Performing Arts. Ajit is also a teacher of the arts in the school he established over 17 years ago. The Suvarna's dancers have achieved recognition as some of the finest dancers in Malaysia. Suvarna Fine Arts has been recognized as one of the most active catalysts of Indian dance in Malaysia. Based in Johor Bahru, the southernmost state in Malaysia, Suvarna's distinct and original dance works present authentic classicism on the contemporary stage with universal appeal. Suvarna boasts of an impressive repertoire of professional productions and collaborations both in Malaysia and abroad. Ajit and his dancers are recognized for their vibrant dance renditions, striking choreography, and innovative theatrical presentations. Recently, they presented an international choreography, a collaborative work by Ajit, co-choreographed with India-based Bharatanatyam dancer Rama Vaidyanathan, Brahma Kalpa, the Eternal Universe. This dance production in 4 movements draws parallels between the cosmological and mythological relationship that the earth's evolution has with time, starting right from the Big Bang theory. Sanskrit and Tamil verses, which reflect scientific theories, are explored to unravel the mystery between time, earth, and the cosmic consciousness. It was presented in 2014 in Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, and New Delhi. In 2015, the Rama Vaidyanathan and Ajit Das duo presented Viswa Prana, the cosmic breath. This production focused on the yogic tradition of pranayama, which believes that our breath contains prana, the life force which energizes our mind, body, and soul. Vishwa Prana is an exercise in harnessing the prana within each and every one of us. Featuring more than 20 dancers from various institutes, this performance explores man's relationship with nature and the life force that flows through us in our interactions with the world. The production was conceptualized by Rama Vaidyanathan and choreographed by Rama and Ajit. The original music composed and scored by Sudha Raghuraman with artistic direction by Gauri Ram Narayan. One of the first Kalakshetra alumna who began teaching dance in Malaysia was Shanta Dhananjayan, who went there in 1962 after her post-graduation. Here she set up a dance school with the help of Malaysia's Minister Sambandhan. She ran this school successfully for 3 years, and it was on seeing her success as a teacher on foreign soils that Rukmini Devi invited her to join Kalakshetra's repertory and teaching staff. While she was in Malaysia, Shanta and Dhananjayan were not married, but VP Dhananjayan had already proposed to her. She took her time in Malaysia to make her decision to marry him. If Shanta Dhananjayan left Malaysia after her decision to accept VP Dhananjayan's proposal for marriage, young Apsara Ram Gopal made Malaysia her home after marriage to Ram Gopal, son of the renowned dancer couple Shivadas and Vatsala, himself an accomplished mridangam player and disciple of Karaikudi Krishnamurti. Together, they run the Kshetra Academy and create new works like Chitrangada in 2011 to celebrate the 60th centenary birth anniversary of Rabindranath Tagore. Of course, the influence of Kalakshetra's early alumna, the late Guru Adyar K. Lakshman, was there in the form of his student Rimli, and through him the Sutra students who had the chance of learning from him directly in the summer season. Kalakshetra has such a strong presence in Malaysia that when the travelling exhibition on Rukmini Devi to mark her centenary was created, it travelled to Malaysia, confident that there would be an instant emotional connect. In Malaysia, the hold of classical dance can be seen in many ways. For instance, Makkal TV, famed for its Astro telecast, features daily dance performances for an hour. And Looking at Marvin Koo, Rimli Abraham and Ajit Das, one realizes the passion and love with which they have mastered not only few classical dances, but like Bharatanatyam, Odissi, but ventured into contemporary, modern dance, ballet and also folklore, and with passion they are dancing all over the world and creating. These are great inspirational dancers, scholars and choreographers for all of us and for all of you, the new generation. Now let us look into Thailand. The story in Thailand is not as vibrant as we see in Malaysia. Although India and Thailand have an ancient dance connect dating back to several centuries, the present Thai classical dance is called Natasin. It probably developed in what is known as the Ayutthaya period, that is from 1350 to 1767 AD. For many reasons, this dance tradition appears to be inspired from India. Many dance related terms emanate from Sanskrit. Natasin is one example, Kru for Guru is another. The manual for dance is called the Natya Sastra in Thailand, bearing just too close a link to the Natya Shastra. In fact, a Sanskrit manual of the Natya Shastra can actually be found in the National Library of Thailand. At the Ayutthaya Rajbhat University, every year they celebrate the day of Bharata, where more than 100 students learning Bharatanatyam perform together. They do the traditional puja of all headgears, of which first is Bharata, along with the puja of the Gurus as per their seniority. Professor Parul Shah conducted a week-long workshop on Rasa and Abhinaya in 2011 and was part of the Guru Puja celebrations. The Thai dance technique has many features common with the technique of Indian dance. They used 108 basic movements that corresponded to the 108 Karanas. Now, the repertoire has been reduced in Thailand to only 68. The hand movements are fewer and suggest the mood rather than the viniyoga of the signs and symbols. Even the footwork is slower than that in India. Among those who are promising and promoting the tradition of Indian classical dance in Thailand today are Rajesh Vasudevan, who through his Bangkok based organization Natyadhara is promoting Bharatanatyam. They held their first Arangetram, also Thailand's first Arangetram, that of Sanjana Balachandran, only in 2012. Another dance school in Bangkok, headed by Shrilesh Nambiar, the Kalashri Academy of Art and Culture, teaches both Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi. Shrilesh Nambiar is trained by Guru Shri Rama, a Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi dancer, research scholar, teacher, choreographer based in Singapore. Dr. Siri completed a PhD on dance sculptures at the Department of Fine Arts, University of Hong Kong, and is the founder director of the 25-year-old dance institution in Mumbai, the Kanaka Sabha Performing Arts Center. Shrilesh continues his learning of Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi under the guidance of Dr. Siri Rama at Kanaka Sabha Performing Arts Center, Mumbai. With his guru, he has given many performances in India. He has been awarded the Best Dancers Prize from University of Mumbai. His institution also trains Bollywood dancing. The Indian cultural centers have played a great role in the growth of classical and other arts in the South Asian countries. The one thing to note is that in both Thailand and in Malaysia, the government of India, more specifically the cultural diplomacy wing of the Ministry of External Affairs, has under the aegis of the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, that is ICCR, set up Indian cultural centers. Through them, it keeps up a year-long thirst of Indian culture via many events and the regular teaching on Indian arts. These centers and the pro-India community they create also serve as the nodal center for the festivals of India in these countries. The Indian Cultural Center in Malaysia was set up recently in 2009, just as was in the ICCR in the Thailand. The present teacher of dance at ICC Malaysia is Nitin P. Shirale, trained in Kathak and Odissi by Guru Parvati Datta over a period of 12 years at the Mahagami Academy in Aurangabad. He has also received a postgraduate degree in dance from the University of Pune. His advanced training in both Kathak and Odissi was under the tutelage of Pandit Birju Maharaj and Guru Kelu Prasad Mahapatra. He has won several awards and is a dancer of great promise. At the Indian Cultural Center in Bangkok, Mukti Shri teaches Kathak and Tabla. She has learned Kathak from Guru Shama Bhate and Tabla from Suresh Talwalkar. Both teachers are known for their intellectual approach and thorough training. Thus, in Thailand, there are today young dancers who carry forward the artistry of one of the significant women pioneers of Kathak and many other gurus who have pioneered and worked in India and outside.